It's time for another very special live edition of the Burning River Sportscast. Christmas didn't come early, but it did come, and the Browns get a win, 13-6 over Pittsburgh.
I came late. I thought Santa wasn't coming.
He showed
here.
up.
He's here.
No sack of toys, but he showed up.
You know who's not jolly? Aaron Rodgers. That guy
No.
looks pissed off at all times.
Yeah. Yeah.
He has to have. I saw the joke today. He has to have the highest blood pressure in the entire NFL.
He's got good emotes.
Yeah.
You know, the camera cuts to him on the field.
Yeah. And speaking of him, before we really get into things, I just real quick so I don't forget this. I liked at the end of the game when the last incompletion for the game and he was trying to like jaw at the defense and they were just giving it to him. They're like, "No, you suck. You're old."
Yeah. You're washed.
Yeah. So, anyways, you can find our podcast wherever you get your podcasts. I'm talking Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Amazon Music, YouTube Music, Pandora, iHeartRadio, Podcast Castro, Good Pods. We're a #1 ranked football podcast, and so many more. While you're at it, please leave us a review on your preferred podcast app. It really helps us grow and get seen. And don't forget to subscribe on YouTube, the only place you can find our video podcast. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Our handle for all those socials is at Burning River Sportscast. We are on X as well with the handle at Burning River Pod. While you're at it, check out our merch, www.thetapotmedia.com/shop. All kinds of stuff in there. Before we get started, shout out to some of our sponsors, Towpath Distillery. Towpath Distillery, an award-winning craft distillery located in Akron, Ohio. Towpath Distillery focuses on high-quality spirits carefully made in small batches. Towpath Distillery, handcrafted, award-winning, small batch, local, and family-owned.
The smallest batch in the game.
In primetime sports and framing, with locations in Hartville, Streetsboro, Belden Village, Great Northern, and Kent, they are easily accessible wherever you are in Northeast Ohio. With the best selection in autographed collectibles and a world-class framing operation, they are your go-to for officially licensed memorabilia. Primetime sports and framing.
You name it, they frame it.
You don't get excited for like anything on our show except for that. They provided all our giveaways this year, so we really appreciate that. And today on the show, this is what you can look forward to. Recap of today's Week 17 win over the Steelers. A closer look at everything, offense, defense, special teams. Our nominees for Dog of the Week. Myles Garrett wasn't able to get home and get it done versus the Steelers. We'll talk about that. QB and coaching talk, because even with the win, these are the hot topics right now. And I'm sure there's going to be so many more, but let's get things started by reminding everyone to call the Burning River Sportscast Hot Take Hotline.
Call that hotline. We
Call
got
the
a few
Hot Take
already
Hotline.
rolling in.
Yeah. James Frank, make sure you're calling in the Hot Take Hotline. I've tried to get you to call before, James, and you have not, so I'm disappointed.
Sounds like you might have called.
Oh, we got one. I called him out and instantly he was like, wait, I called. Yeah. So make sure you call in. I know our boys from North Jersey are going to call in. They always do. But we need more. Cliff, if you're out there, a few of these other guys that have called in before, but we haven't heard from in a while. We want to hear from you.
Yeah.
Number on that, 330-227-8081.
330-227-8081.
Put it up there again. 330-227-8081.
I'm working on it. 8081. Yeah. Call that or we'll kick you in the Haslam's.
Right in the jimmies. All right. So let's go ahead with the Week 17 recap. We'll start with special teams. Was there any major blunders on special teams today?
That last punt return wasn't good. With the game on the line, but luckily the defense kind of bailed everybody out today. So no big blunders. I actually texted you guys during the game, just not in special teams at all, but just around like all year long, I've kind of waffled on Andre Schmidt. Like, I still don't know if he's the guy I want making a clutch kick, but like, it's time to put some respect on his name. I mean, he had a rough start here, but rookie, not a rookie, but a first year, NFL player. He's afforded himself really well this year. He's made all his kicks again today. So I just think, for better or worse, like he's at least a passable NFL kicker at this point. So I'm no longer worried that that's a huge gap for us. I guess we'll see if we ever get into a high leverage situation, how he fares.
I was going to say, how often do we have a game on the line type kick? It's just like maybe once a season.
Yeah. So we'll see. But to this point, like, not that we owe him any kind of apology, but he's done well. He's had a nice season.
No, I agree with you. And I don't think we owe him an apology. I mean, early on, we were hard on him for missing the kick. There was a kick with the game on the line early in the season that he missed. I think it was like game 1 or 2. I think it was the Bengals first
Bengals
game, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. So we did get on him about that. He came back and kind of redeemed himself. He kept hitting kicks throughout the season, and I think we kind of were steady with it. We were like, oh, he's playing better. He's been better. He hasn't, he hasn't done anything stupid.
Well, I think after today, I think he's like 22 of 25 on this season. So like
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
You're making 85% of your kicks. And he certainly
And
doesn't
today he hit
struggle
one from
with
50, if I'm not
yeah, it
mistaken.
doesn't struggle with the long kicks. So, I know someday we'll play in a dome, but that day is not today.
Maybe he'll hit from 70 when that day comes.
Having a big leg to be able to get the drive on it necessary to kick field goals in December in Cleveland, it's a good thing. So
yeah, and I know we're not at a part of our show where we beat up on Kevin Stefanski, but I'm going to go ahead and go there already, because I will say, what the hell was the point in going for it on fourth down at the end of the first half? When it was that's the timing, right? It was the end of the first half, and we had just like less than a quarter before that, he had hit from 50 yards going the other way.
Yeah, you hit from 50, and then that one would have been from 51, and apparently that was the cutoff for today. So we ended up going for it on like 4th and 7.
It was a terrible play that was drawn up too.
Rain and not very nice outside, but
yeah, it was a terrible play that was drawn up. I know it was not a great route, not a great pass. But regardless of, even if those two things would have went well, there was a defender all over our guy, and we threw it. It was 4th and 7, you said, and we threw it for 5 yards. So
yeah, it just didn't make sense. It was pretty clear early on, like, that this was going to be a bit of a struggle to get points. And in a close game, 3 points matters. I mean, I would at least have rather taken the crack at points and turned the ball over there. If you missed the field goal. But
just a heads up, Kenny, our crew from Glass City has joined us on Facebook. So
nice.
Glass City Browns backers, how you doing? And in true their own style, it says, "What's up?"
Kicking glass.
Yeah. Taking names and kicking glass. But anyways, so the special teams, see how that works. The special teams is actually okay, and we can be competitive.
It didn't cost us a game today.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and we'll actually go to the defense first, because there's not as much to talk about. I mean, they were pretty good today. I say not much to talk about, but it's because they did their jobs.
Yeah, it was a really good effort. I mean, the defense carried the day, and frankly, Myles Garrett carried the day. I know he didn't light up the box score, and we didn't get the sack, but frankly, I mean, what an embarrassing effort by Pittsburgh's offensive game plan.
Oh, good God. Like, look, how embarrassed, that's the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen, that you're so worried about a player breaking the sack record against you that you literally only game plan for him, and you lost the game, which was for the division. This was your best chance to win the division. If you won the division today, you're good to go. Now you got to play Baltimore next week, and I'm picking Baltimore in that, because head to head, I like Baltimore every day. And you lost it today because you were so worried about a defensive end breaking a record.
Well, and regardless of what happens next week, you had a chance against a 3-win team today to close out the division. So just was an embarrassing, pathetic effort. I expect that sort of thing from Pittsburgh. Look, we've been high on Mike Tomlin, obviously 19 seasons where they've been above 500. Impressive, good work to be done. We've always kind of said tongue in cheek, like, we would like Mike Tomlin here in Cleveland.
Oh, if they fired Stefanski in the offseason, I'd take him.
After today, some just really, really baffling coaching decisions, starting with the game plan being, at all costs, do not let Myles Garrett break the sack record.
Well, it was so evident because they threw like 3-yard passes all day, screens, everything.
Yeah, and they were getting the ball out. And I mean, in even tough situations, he was flipping the ball around to guys, shoveling passes out that probably should have just not been done, just because they were high risk, low reward. But starting with the offensive game plan, and then the 4th and 1 where they threw the fade to some backup wide receiver that's 100 years old.
So a bold choice. Let's see if it pays off for God.
And then the decision at the end of the game to throw at Denzel Ward 3 times. 3 times.
You go at the
3 times.
One of the best corners, if
our
not the
best defensive player outside of Myles, and you throw the ball at him 3 times. That's your plan to win?
Like, legitimately, he might be the best man-to-man player in the league. The only reason he doesn't get more respect is because he's hurt so often. But when he's healthy, I would put him up against anybody in the league man-to-man. So
Yeah, I mean, what do the Browns have this year? 2 Pro Bowlers. I think it's him and Miles. I
him and
mean,
Miles. Yep.
it's not like you had DK Metcalf out there, right?
Nope.
I mean, you've got Marquez Valdez Scantling, right? I mean,
yeah.
in a retread role. So just made no sense. So whatever respect that I did have for Mike Tomlin coming into today's game, just questionable decisions all over the place. And the most embarrassing thing is that they clearly were concerned so much about Miles that they weren't worried about anything else. I mean, that was the game plan today. The one thing they wanted to accomplish was not let Miles get a sack. Well,
Yeah.
congrats. You did that, and you put your playoff hopes in jeopardy.
Yeah, a couple
Idiots.
of comments real quick before we move on. Glass City Browns backers. We've got Stefanski, the Polish prince of fuck ups. So that's a good one. These are coming from Facebook, so I can't screen like put them on the screen like you can. So from YouTube and X, but and then Meyer Lansky, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, coming in from Toledo. He said Baltimore's going to sweep them. And then he said, this was so embarrassing. I thought Vegas was behind the loss. And he said, is Tomlin's tenure coming to an end? I think they're firing him after. I really do. I think they would. I think they're probably going to do one of those mutual decisions to part ways after the season. If they don't make the playoffs, or even if they do make the playoffs and lose in the first round, I think this is the end for Tomlin and the Steelers.
Well, after watching today's game, you got to think the guys lost the plot a little bit. I mean, geez, you were coming into Cleveland to play a bad 3-win football team, starting a rookie quarterback. Not only rookie quarterback, rookies everywhere, all over. The team that has played
rookies.
More rookies have taken snaps on this team than any other team in the NFL this season by like 1,000 plays.
Yep.
So this was a game that a good team should walk in and beat you, like Chicago did a couple weeks ago.
I'd have to look it up. I don't take this for gospel here, but I'm pretty sure I read this week that they are close to like the record of close to or have the record for most rookie playing time like ever.
It's got to be. I mean, it's all over the field. I mean, even our backups are rookies, right? Raheem Sanders was in there today, toting the rock. He's a rookie too. So they signed some other guy off the practice squad this week to play tight end that caught a pass today. I don't even know if he's a rookie or not, but he's a young guy that I've never seen play in an NFL game before after Harold Brandon went down. I mean, this team is young, inexperienced, has nothing to play for, and you had everything to play for.
Everything,
especially if you're Aaron Rodgers, right? You're kind of in the twilight, right? I don't know if he'll play, if this will be his last year, if he'll play another year or two. Doesn't seem like he's struggled too much this year. I mean, he's been about average, but so he obviously still physically can play. But who knows what his long-term projection is for how long he's going to hang around. I mean, this very well could have been your swan song.
Yeah, all I know is if he doesn't play anymore, the NFL just got a lot nicer because he's just always angry.
I'd be angry after today.
I mean, I'd just be angry if I was Aaron Rodgers. He probably has no idea which way is up. Listen, so that's the defense that we pretty much talked about most of it. Myles Garrett was not able to get it done. Oh, I did want to touch on this. Anybody that I don't want to hear it out of anybody. And I know we talked about this at length in our our weekly episode. I don't want to hear it out of anybody about Myles Garrett and the whole. It took him because I'm assuming he's going to get it next week, but it's going to take him 17 games instead of 16 games to get it. We talked about this on our show this week. I'm pulling it up right now so we can just re-talk about it here. But his efficiency numbers this year are absolutely off the charts. Like it's not even close. The guys that he's close to in this record took far more passing plays to get their record than he did. So even though it was in 16 games, TJ Watt, his record tying year, 618 pass plays, 22 and a half sacks. Michael Strahan in his record year, 567 pass plays, 22 and a half sacks. And Myles Garrett this year, before today, it was at 437 pass plays, 22 sacks. I'll update that on this week's show, but you're sitting it because Aaron Rodgers threw 40 times, I think, whatever it was. I don't know how many of those Myles Garrett was actually in on. I'd assume probably all of them. So even if you give them all of them,
it wasn't all of them, but even if you give them all of them,
even if you give them all of them, it's 39. We're adding 39. So you're at 476 pass attempts and 22 sacks.
And that's, of course, a byproduct of the fact that teams haven't had to throw against us a whole lot. So
that's fair, but he's done
nothing that Miles can do about that.
Did Miles miss a game this year? James Franks. I don't think he did this year.
I don't think he did.
Yeah, I don't think he missed a game this year. But yeah, so regardless, I don't want to hear it about he did it in 17, not 16. He's far more efficient than all these guys.
I mean, look, at the end of the day, if he gets the record next week, the NFL record book's going to say Myles Garrett, period. So, moot point.
Yeah.
Just while we're finishing up on the defense, though, concerning injury to Carson Schwessinger. He clearly was hampered. I mean, dog doesn't want to come out of the game.
Dog.
But I mean, at some point, like, what is the coaching staff doing? I mean, especially at the end of the first half there, where
he's clear liability.
He couldn't to
the point where even the announcers are like, "Get this guy out of here! What are you doing?"
I mean, just more dereliction of duty by Kevin Stefanski and that coaching staff to let a guy that is clearly injured keep playing. Like,
well, what if we
9 tackles today? So I mean, whatever. But like,
what have we said all along? Is when you take Kevin Stefanski off the offense, he gets to pay attention to everything else, then bad things happen.
Everything else gets worse.
Yeah. So the whole paying attention to injuries and it's all bad. I agree with you. He should have come off. He definitely should have come off a lot sooner. Did he even come off? Did he finish the game?
No, he finished the game. I mean, he came out.
I couldn't remember if he finished the game, if he was in at the end. Like, a clear liability, though. And that's also another thing. You're talking about the Steelers not being able to win this game. You have a guy that can't even move in the middle of the field, and you still don't go at him. But, whatever.
I mean,
Meyer Lansky on Facebook, a couple things here real quick. He said that Carson Schwessinger had said, I don't know if this was post-game press conference or when, but he said that they were going to have to carry him off the field.
Yeah.
Dog.
And they all do that. And fortunately for him, like, the play that lost him the game wasn't on him, right? Like, that would have been a really bad look. Yeah. If you're injured and that's your mentality is they're going to have to drag me off and then the coaching staff does nothing about it. Like, and then they would have completed a pass on him or something like that would have looked really bad. So fortunately, like, that didn't happen today, which is good. But it just, what do we do? I mean, this is a guy that's going to be an all-pro linebacker for the next 7-8 years pretty easily. Do you want to have him out there hurt in a game that really doesn't matter? Kevin
Stefanski was coaching for his life today. So
well, that's true.
We'll get to that.
I also just thought the secondary, I mean, I know the receivers for Pittsburgh are kind of garbage, but I thought the secondary played really well today. Tyson Campbell looks to be a really competent addition for the Greg Newsome trade. That definitely seems like one that we won. So I guess credit to Andrew Berry there, but he was a dog today. I thought he played really, really well. And really across the secondary, I mean, Grant Delpit had a big day making tackles. I think he led the team in tackles today.
He had the big sack in the middle of the game.
Big sack, yeah. Big sack. And we talked on our preview show this week about, look, if there's going to be a lot of attention on Myles, and we know that there was going to be a lot of attention on Myles, then the rest of this defensive front really should eat. And so Alex Wright was a guy that came up with a timely sack today, and a tackle for loss. So credit to that defensive line too, just for kind of sticking with it. And look, it's December football. It's really easy. We talk about this every week, the box score warriors. It's really easy to kind of look at a box score and go, okay, nobody did anything. But this is the reality of the NFL in December in Cleveland. Like, it's just not, you're not going to blow people off the page with some of these numbers, but there were impactful plays all around on that defense today.
Well, the biggest thing really today was they eliminated the big play that's killed us for the last 3 weeks.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, they didn't really let that running game get going, too much. I mean, Jaylen Warren had, I think, 65 yards or so, but he only carried the rock, I think, 10 or 12 times.
I love James Frank's energy just coming through. He's so excited about everything. I love it. He's just we're in week 17. We've won 4 games all season, and he's just bringing it right now. People get pumped when we beat the Steelers.
Look, this was a good thing.
I feel good today.
Anytime you beat Pittsburgh is good. I don't care what kind of season you're having. If you beat Pittsburgh, that's a good day.
Yep. Let's go ahead and go over to the offensive side. Meyer, this is where we'll get to your question that you had earlier. I'll throw that in here in just a second. We'll start with Shedeur, because obviously that's the big one. Shedeur, in my opinion, he played well. I know people were gonna try and shit on me for that, but in my opinion, he played well. I
really thought that said at Rusty Boner.
No, Rusty Bonner.
Rusty Bonner.
But yeah, so with Shedeur, these are the good things that I saw. He had a great first half, especially the first quarter. He was efficient all day. They won the game. That's the big one. And then, yeah, I mean, like I said, the efficiency was way better than it has been because he was 17 of 23 today. So the accuracy was there. Obviously, the bad, I'll just throw him out there now. The second pick was terrible. I don't know why he threw that ball, but that comes with, he's a rookie, big mistake. It happens. I'm not saying it's excusable. I'm saying he's a rookie. And even if he wasn't a rookie, people throw interceptions. But those are the kind of interceptions that you clean up as you're in this league for a little while. And then number two, the one that should have been pick sixth was really, really bad. But again, overall he played well outside of those picks. Maybe another play here or there. Like I said, he was 17 of 23. There was only 6 passes that were incomplete. And 2 of them were the picks. So technically there was only 4 passes that were incomplete.
Yeah, concur. Shedeur had a really good day. Look, I know every mistake that guy makes ends up under a microscope and people want to shred him for it. Every time he throws a pick, the Twitter feed goes wild with, see, I told you this guy sucks. This is the worst quarterback I've ever seen.
It's the most annoying situation I've ever been a part of.
He had a really, really good day outside of really 3 throws. And really one of those was kind of a fluke, right? The first pick, this guy's had really bad luck. It seems like every ball that gets, swatted or batted ends up 6 feet in the air and somebody runs under it and catches it. So that one was kind of fluky, but counts as an INT, bad throw. The one where you're rolling out and throw the ball crossbody, not defensible. I mean, right. That's a bad throw. That's
you know what that was to me? That was this is what I did in college because I was better than a lot of people and I just could do whatever I wanted. But you learn fast in the NFL. And hopefully he learns from this that you can't play hero ball like that all the time.
And frankly, I don't know what the play call was supposed to be because to me it looked like whatever was supposed to happen there. I don't know if it was a dialed up screen or something. Whatever was supposed to happen didn't, and he panicked. Yep. And again, inexcusable, not defensible. You can't make that throw. You can't throw the ball across your body in the NFL pretty much ever. Right. Josh Allen maybe gets away with one of those in a season, but you just can't make that throw. And then the one obviously that was almost a pick six.
I mean, again, going back to
ill-advised throw as well. But otherwise, like, he played a really good game. He was efficient. He played within the offense, which again, the offense is what the offense is at this point, and it's not going to get markedly better at this point in the year. Kevin Stefanski's still your coach. Tommy Rees is calling plays. Those guys seem to be in lockstep. Like, it's a trash scheme. He's also playing with maybe the worst supporting cast I've ever seen on a professional football field.
It's so bad.
The fact that
the
offensive
best one
line
went down at the beginning of the game today. They marched down the field. He threw a touchdown pass to him, and then he was done.
Well, yeah. Well, and the offense changed considerably after Harold Fannin went out because there was no other threat to catch the ball. Thankfully, Jerry Jeudy showed up and at least played today.
He did a lot of taunting today, which was silly because these are like his first 5 catches of the year.
He did do a lot of taunting, which to be expected, I guess, with him. But really, this offensive receiving room, this wide receiver room is really, really bad. You already talked about, like, there was a tight end out there that had never taken a snap in the NFL today that caught a ball. Like, the supporting cast is poor. The offensive line, I don't know, we've had a running back average over 3 yards a carry in about 8 weeks.
We don't know what that means.
I mean, you're well under 100 yards again today, I think, as a team. and you had about 4 different guys carry the rock.
Dylan Sampson, 11 for 27, 2.5 yards per carry. Raheem Sanders, 8 for 21, 2.6 yards per carry. Travion Williams, 2 for 10, 5 yards carry. And Shedeur Sanders, 4 for 20, 5 yards carry.
And even when Q was healthy, I mean, he's had struggled, and it wasn't even all the way.
We just barely broke the 2 yards or the 3 yards a carry threshold. We had 25 for 78.
Yeah, great. Well, and Shedeur was 20 of those. So,
yep.
But even Q wasn't like really effective, much past about the midpoint of the season, because this offensive line is in tatters, and he led the league in contact yards. Because he's getting
because everybody contacted him behind the line.
Yeah, so like all those things still apply to Shedeur. So all things considered, you beat a team today that is a playoff caliber football team that's won 9 games on the season, like. They beat a good team. He didn't get any credit after the Titans game because he had a good statistical game, but they lost.
Yep.
And then you'd say, well, yeah, he had a good game against a bad football team. Well, today he had a very solid game against a good football team, and they won. And not only that, it's a division rival. It's your primary rival in December at home. I mean, it was a very good performance. Again, he made mistakes today, but he still is showing growth every week. He's stepping up in the pocket. He's making on-time throws. He's taking his checkdowns. He's playing smart football for the most part. Again, some bad throws there. The final thing, my final criticism right now of Shedeur Sanders is I'm still waiting for him. I'm still waiting for that legendary moment, right? I'm waiting for one of those last 2 drives that Cleveland had the football, and you're thinking, geez, if they can put 3 points on the board here, if they can march down the field and score a touchdown. Tony Romo said it in the broadcast. He's like, this might be one of the last times that they really get a chance to touch the ball. If you put a touchdown on the board here, Pittsburgh can't score. Like, the game's over. I'm waiting on Shedeur to do that, and it's hard with the supporting cast right now, but I'm waiting on that show me you have it at the end of the game. Because we really haven't seen that. He's kept this team around. They hung with the Bills, they hung with Tennessee and made some magic at the end.
Step.
But I need to see that next step. And not that I need to see it because to tell me whether or not he should start next year. I fully believe that. But whether or not I believe in him really long-term beyond that. I think when you see that once or twice and you go, look, he checks almost every other box. You got to clean up a few things. He needs help, a lot of it. But if you clean up a few things, like, he has enough talent to play in this league.
Yeah, I agree. And that's actually a good segue. The question from Meyer was, as far as Shedeur, you guys think he's the starter next season? You just said it. You said 100%. You said you would like him to be. Do you think he's the starter next season?
Look, I was thinking to myself this week, like, the best thing Shedeur can do to make sure he's a starter next year is to win one or both of these next 2 football games, right? If you push yourself back in that draft order behind, obviously Las Vegas needs a quarterback. The Jets need a quarterback. Who's the other one that I'm thinking of? Because it's Washington and Tennessee, but they have quarterbacks. There's somebody else that's shit in that lineup. If you end up picking 6th, you can do yourself some favors, and you can maybe, by just the default of there not being a quarterback available on the board when the Browns pick, you can kind of cement yourself as that guy for next year.
Yeah.
Today, I think Shedeur did what he needed to do. They win the game. I think they're sitting at 6 right now in the draft order. So assuming a whole lot doesn't change next week, I think there's a very high probability that they'll look at this team in the offseason and say, Shedeur should at least get the offseason to work in, and if nothing else, have an actual competition during camp, and whether that's with Deshaun Watson or another rookie that they bring in. I think he's the probable starter for next year.
Yeah. And I would agree with that. I think at this point, I mean, this is just me personally. I know there's a lot of people that are high on Mendoza or the dude from Oregon, more. Like, none of these guys do anything for me to the point where I think we should draft a quarterback and once again ignore everything else, because that's what you got to do. If you want one of those guys, like, we're in a point now, no matter what happens next week, in order to get one of those 2 guys, you're most likely trading your other first round pick along with the one that you have to move up to get one of them. And I'm not okay with that, because here's the deal. We've got way too many holes. You talked about it today. We literally just we do our best to throw an offensive line out there every week. but we don't even really have one. And to me, Shedeur has shown enough to say, let's give him next year. Let's just give him next year, see what happens. You'll still have, I hate to use this name here, but you still have Deshaun Watson as the backup next year. Even Dylan Gabriel, like that was Kevin Stefanski's guy. Not that I ever want to see him play again, but that was Kevin Stefanski's guy. So you still have those guys as backups, but go into the season and give Shedeur Sanders the nod and say he's the guy going into next season, and see what happens, because you've said it a million times. I know we've talked about it a lot on the show. You end up winning 3 games next year. Well, guess what? You're right there for another quarterback the following year. You go all in. But you know what you have now? You now have probably a solid top tier offensive lineman and possibly a receiver to put around them.
Yeah.
So
I don't understand the infatuation with some of these guys that are playing college football right now.
James Frank, get out of here with your USC receiver. Get out of here. We're not having this week. We're not doing this discussion again.
I don't understand the infatuation with these guys, because I think if Shedeur Sanders was playing in college this year and had his final season over again, is he not the Heisman? Is he not the Heisman? He threw for 1,000 more yards. He threw for more touchdowns. He completed 74% of his passes in college. Well, like, would he not be the Heisman with the year that he had against these guys?
To be fair, Julian Sayin threw for like 1,000 more yards and he didn't win it. So,
but even Julian, his season total started with a 3.
Wow.
Shedeur started with a 4. And so, and Shedeur threw 4 more touchdowns.
No,
the only thing Sayin had on him was completion percentage.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I'm just saying, like, it doesn't, probably not, because they love Mendoza, because Indiana was actually good this year. So that's where they were going.
The Mendoza one bothers me the most, because to me, that guy has never been truly, okay, not never, but has been tested in very limited windows. Yeah. That team, you said the team was good. That defense was good. He's got good receivers. Like, they were up in a lot of games. The defense that I hear about Mendoza's numbers is that he didn't have to play a lot of games in the second half because they were winning all of them. Yeah, that's the guy that you want. The guy that has his medal has never been tested. I mean, even in the Ohio State game, it wasn't like he went off. He made like 3 good throws in that game.
Yeah.
It was a very underwhelming performance.
I think it was 2, actually. I think it was 2. I think I counted them. There was two decent throws there in the fourth quarter. I think that was it.
I just don't understand it. So, I mean, and the thing I hate about taking a quarterback next year is this idea then that, like, okay, you're going to start over with a rookie next year. All the things that Shedeur's doing bad now, you're going to watch that all over again for a whole season.
Except it's going to be from a first rounder, not a 5th rounder. And you're probably going to. The weirdest thing about that is most people will give him a pass and say he's a rookie. Like, I don't understand this whole. Like, that's
because he's a first round pick. They're going to go, well, you got to give him time to develop. And apparently Shedeur doesn't get that luxury.
Just because you're a 5th round pick, you need to be good right now. That makes sense.
I mean, people forget that he was graded out as a first rounder or maybe a second rounder by the most harsh of critics. But, like, this was a guy that was expected by most analysts to go early in the draft. It was kind of a weird, scenario, Murphy's Law, for him on draft day. But
well, and just
he's got talent.
Yeah, on that front, like, kind of as we were just leading into, is I'm sick of this discussion with Shedeur Sanders. I think we try and be pretty objective. Like, we're just like, we watch the games. We'll let you know. I just told you he did a few things that were really bad today and that he needs to fix. That's fine, whatever. But this whole, when it comes to Shedeur, it's either you love him or you hate him, and we get killed from both sides because we don't either love him or hate him. We think he should start next year, but that's the extent of it. And I don't get it, because the people that love Shedeur, they think that he's already one of the greats, which I don't think that. I think he needs to prove himself. On the flip side of it, you got the people that hate him, and they'll sit there and break him down at every single turn and say how nothing, no matter what he does, it's not good enough. And they expect him to play like Tom Brady or Peyton Manning or whoever right now. And the problem that I have with that is he's a 5th round pick. And you could sit here and say, yeah, but he was like we say he was. You said he was great as a first round pick, but the fact is he went in the 5th. So you have to judge him as a 5th round pick. You can't judge him as a first round pick. Like you can't sit there and say if he was so good, why didn't he go in the 1st? And then like argue with me about how good he is. Like it's just he went in the 5th. You have to judge him as a 5th round pick.
Yeah, well, and I think this is the ultimate reality, which is that if you draft Mendoza or whoever early next year, you are punting on next season to be competitive.
Yep.
There's very little chance that guy is going to come in and be the savior of your franchise right away. So you are saying we are going to do this all over again next year. And let me tell you this defense all year long has been hanging around the top units in the entire NFL. They can play with absolutely anyone. All this offense needed was some competent quarterback play, average quarterback play, the ability to score any points at all. And this team would have been mildly competitive this year. And Shedeur really didn't get that chance to play until the season was all but gone. And at this point, you're playing with an entirely reserve cast, and it's depleted of what little talent was on this offensive unit to start the year. So I think if you go into next year with Shedeur, who's got this half a season under his belt and a full off season, potentially with a coach that believes in him and crafts an offense around him with some more weapons and talent, this team could actually be competitive. Are they going to win the Super Bowl? That's probably not going to happen, right? It's tough to do. Only one team gets to do it each year. But could this team fight for the AFC North just on that defense alone and an average offense in the NFL? We don't have average. This offense has been ranked 30, 31, and 32 all year long. It's really, 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 really bad. If you extrapolate Dylan Gabriel's 5 starts and see what he would have put up for the year, it would have been sub 3,000 yards as a starter.
Yeah,
that's not good. That's not passing in the NFL. Shedeur, if you take what he's done, he's at least about 35 or 3,600, which for a rookie with no supporting cast, not all that awful.
It's pretty good.
So I just think he gives you the best chance to be competitive next year. And guys, like I keep saying this, like everybody wants the guy. Everybody wants Tom Brady. Everybody wants Peyton Manning, and everybody wants some legendary coach to walk through that door and be the guy. You just need competent guys. I don't think anyone here is thinking Bo Nix is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Maybe he will be long-term. I don't know. But if you were to rank them right now and say, is Bo Nix one of the top 3 guys in the NFL? You probably wouldn't say that. Justin Herbert, maybe. I don't know. Like, do people think highly of him? But like, what has he done with his talent to this point? Had another good year this year.
Been a jerk to a reporter.
Another guy that's like, is he Tom Brady or Peyton Manning? Is he Drew Brees? I don't know, but he's above average. He's a competent NFL quarterback, and there's a long list of those guys. Jalen Hurts has won a Super Bowl, and Philly wants a new quarterback. Like you don't have to have one of those guys to be a competitive, serious franchise. You just can't have Dylan Gabriel. that's the only thing
you can't have. You can't have
if they put talent around Shedeur and he's average. He doesn't have to be the second coming. If he's average, this defense will win you games. These young rookies, Harold Fannin, Quinshon Judkins, Dylan Sampson, and put some more talent and weapons around these guys, they will win you games.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be any harder than that. We're waiting for that lottery ticket. We're waiting for that 1.5 billion. People don't play the lottery unless it hits $1 billion. You know what? If you go play on any random Tuesday or Saturday and you win the lottery, $20 million is still $20 million. You don't ever have to work again. You're doing pretty good.
Yeah. It is a weird thing here in Cleveland that it doesn't matter how close we get. It's everybody's ready for a reset at all times when it comes to quarterback. And yeah, I know James Frank said it earlier in his comments, but he said that if Shedeur started from the beginning of the season, we'd probably be fighting for a playoff spot. I don't know if we would, but we'd be pretty close at least.
They would have won more games.
We'd probably be somewhere at least around where Cincinnati is right now. At least a game or two ahead.
I don't have delusions that we would be in the Super Bowl, but this division was bad this year, right?
It was really bad.
Pittsburgh potentially could win,
really
or Baltimore could win with 9 wins. Could this team have had 7 or 8 wins realistically?
Yes,
probably.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. I just, yeah, I guess my last thought with the Shedeur thing and whether or not he'll start next year and what we want is this. This is what I got for you. Just yeah, I'm ready to roll with Shedeur and look elsewhere for help. But let's get into. I want to talk about Stefanski a little bit. Just because we talked about this a little bit before we started the show, but he won a game and he's officially above the 3-14 that Jimmy Haslam said. He said that's not gonna be okay. What was his quote? He said that's not gonna
just
get
that wasn't gonna cut it. Yeah, it's gonna have to be better than this.
Yeah, and so he's officially above that. And so I guess I just want to ask you, Kenny, now that he's above that, I know you've been saying for a while that there's a good chance he's coming back. And I've been on the opposite side. I was like, there's no way. There's no way. I'm 100% sure he's not coming back. But that was assuming, we've been so bad. I just assumed we were losing the rest of our games. Now that we won one, I legitimately, I went from saying it's 100% he's not coming back to we're probably at like 50-50 now. That's how big of a shift this is to me. And I don't know what your thoughts are on it, but I'm not looking forward to another year of Kevin Stefanski.
Seismic shift. Look, I've said since they made the move for Deshaun Watson that these guys have lost it. They don't know. They don't have a clue. And so it's been a long time that I've been on the get rid of these guys, blow this whole thing up bandwagon. I have said consistently this year, I don't think Kevin has been worried one bit about losing his job. I fully believe he'll be back next year. To which I've got a lot of opposition to, especially in recent weeks. People are like, "There's no way he survives this." I really
said that until this week.
Next year. This week, after today's game, is the very first time that I've felt in any way personally conflicted on this, because I have wanted Stefanski gone for a while, but my desire to see Shedeur get a legitimate chance as a starting quarterback without having to bring in Mendoza or one of these other guys that I don't really believe in is high enough that I almost would prefer we don't make any big changes. You bring Kevin and Andrew back next year just to keep this nucleus intact, run it back one more time with Shedeur. Because I do think that as soon as you introduce a new coach, there's going to be questions of change, which I think this franchise badly needs, because I think Kevin has lost the plot too. But if it means getting to see Shedeur at least play next year, I'm almost like, let's just run it back with Kev one more time.
Don't say it. Come on. Listen, let me just, bring you back down to earth here. If you run it back with Kevin one more time, you don't get a legitimate look at Shedeur Sanders. You get a legitimate look at the shit quarterback play that you always get with Kevin Stefanski.
I know, but that might be the only opportunity Shedeur gets. And that's the problem, is that if they bring in a new coach and the new coach goes,
I don't like it.
I got 2 first-round picks. I need my guy. If we're going to build this thing from the ground up, I want my guy. And that's a very real possibility. You'd have to fire Stefanski and not only bring in the right guy, you'd have to find the right guy that believes in Shedeur Sanders as a starter. So
it can
your
be done,
best chance to see you, it can be done. Coach Prime probably would take that call.
You got to remember Andrew Berry is a big Shedeur guy, so which is evidenced by every time that he does anything, Andrew Berry's in his locker room giving him a hug. So
yeah, but you hit the reality check on this earlier, which is Shedeur's a 5th round pick. So as much as Andrew Berry wants to go, I think Shedeur has talent. A new coach can come in, and that's a perfect trump card. What, you want me to build this franchise with a 5th round pick? Nobody in the NFL wanted him besides you in the 5th round. That's the guy you're going to give me. Yeah, no wonder Kevin Stefanski wasn't successful.
It goes round and round, because it just goes back to you got to find that coach that believes it. And I think if you get rid of Stefanski, I really do think that somebody's gonna they're gonna look for somebody that's willing to at least play the hand they're dealt with Shedeur Sanders and say we're going to build the rest of the team. I think that's going to be part of the coaching search.
Very possible. Or if Jimmy just pulls the plug on the whole thing and Andrew and Kevin are gone,
then you might never see Shedeur again
you
because
might never see
Andrew
him at
Berry,
all,
his
ever.
lifeline is gone.
But yeah, I don't know. Again, personally conflicted for the first time on this because now I'm almost like, you know what?
My mind all twisted like a pretzel.
I don't think
there's a pretzel in my head.
Stefanski will ever win a Super Bowl here. I think he's a shite coach. He's just not good. He's just really, really bad.
He is not good.
And it just. But if it gives me a chance to see Shedeur play 17 games, what the hell?
I can't believe you're saying this. I am extremely disappointed in you right now. That you're selling out.
I'm not selling out. I still don't like Kevin. I still don't think he's a good football coach.
You love Kevin Stefanski. You heard it here first on Burning River Sportscast Live. Kenny Thunder is the #1 fan of Kevin Stefanski. He loves him.
It's not true.
He said he's advocating for another year of Kevin Stefanski, and he wants him to call all the shots.
I'm not doing it.
That's terrible. That's terrible take.
Is there a chance that you keep Kevin and you and Andrew and Jimmy force him to bring in an outside offensive coordinator or somebody to totally reset the offense here and say, hey, look, we got to go in a direction that fits Shedeur's skill set, and we're going to do this instead. And Kevin's not allowed anywhere near calling plays ever again. Like, is maybe that a possibility? I don't know, grasping at straws here, right? I'm trying to rationalize this to myself in some way
can't
that
believe what I'm hearing right now.
Makes sense to keep Kevin here, but
it doesn't make sense to keep Kevin here. That's the bottom line. He's had what was the number? 14 different quarterbacks since 2021, and not a single one of them has worked. You want that guy? That's the guy you want? That's the guy you want coming back?
If you're moving forward with the idea that Shedeur is the starter next year,
you're dead to me.
Kevin, look, Kenny Mack up in Ottawa said it on our show. He's like it or not, fair or unfair, Kevin Stefanski's the head coach. If Shedeur is deemed suitable at the end of the season, that he's shown improvement, Kevin has a hand in that. Whether any of that's true, it doesn't matter. He's the CEO. He's the guy at the helm. Kevin's going to get industrial credit for Shedeur's progress. And we've said every week on the show, Shedeur gets better. He's been getting better every week. Kevin's in charge. You can't have one without the other.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Why can you not? I don't understand. This is what I'm talking about. Yeah, the Magic 8 Ball. Believe in the Magic 8 Ball. Yeah. Let's
Johnny believed in the 8 Ball.
Yeah, let's go ahead and move on. I think we talked about Kevin Stefanski enough. I'm sick to my stomach right now and kind of want to jump through the computer and punch you in the mouth. But I am shook right now with your take on this, and you even saying that
my take is they both gotta go. They both gotta go. The failures of the Browns this year and last year are directly attributed to Kevin Stefanski being a bad football coach and to Andrew Berry being bad as a GM. The talent he's assembled is just not good up until this draft class, which, we've had this conversation a million times, but I'm not going to rehash it. But they both got to go. They both got to go at some point for this franchise to be successful. I think I need to see him one more year just so that I can see Shedeur.
I hate
what I can tell you about, we had the question of, do you think Shedeur is a starter next year? What I can tell you is if you bring in a new coach and they ship out Shedeur somewhere else, let's say Shedeur goes to the New York Jets,
Las Vegas,
and the Jets win a Super Bowl next year. I mean, you don't live that down as Jim. I mean, you can't live down Baker Mayfield, which Baker's fallen off the second half of this year, but you can't live down Baker Mayfield, Deshaun Watson, and Shedeur Sanders if you screwed up all three of those. You just can't do it.
Yeah. With that, let's just go ahead and we're going to move on here. Burning River Sportscast Dog of the Week nominees. We'll start with Bone. He's not here. He phoned in Denzel Ward. So Zell obviously was locked down all day, including the last 3 plays of the game where inexplicably Pittsburgh decided that's the guy they're going after, the best cover guy on the team. So
what's funny is Zell called it out in his press conference after the game. He's like, me 3 times? That's what you went with? Like, yeah, smart.
It's a bold strategy. I said it earlier. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him. And then I'm going to go Grant Delpit. He had 8 tackles today. He had a big time sack. And look, it was just all over the place all day. So I'm going Grant Delpit. Kenny, who's your dog of the week nominee?
I don't even know if he registered a single statistic today, but he was the single reason, hands down, they won that game, and it's Myles Garrett.
Yeah. I mean, well,
The
if you're
threat-
watching that game and you can't just see it happening, that they literally were afraid to go anywhere near him or let him get a chance to hit Aaron Rodgers, like, you're blind.
When you post the rundown for this week and the nominees to vote for, and you post the box score and the stats for each
Is
guy,
a 0,
just put-
1 tackle.
just put the threat of Myles Garrett. That's the stat. That's the stat line for today.
Yeah, his actual stat line, in case anyone was curious. I'm not arguing with you one bit. I think this is a perfectly accurate nominee here. But Myles Garrett, 1 tackle, 1 solo tackle, 1 QB hit. That was his stat line. So,
But the threat was enough.
yeah, it literally the threat potentially cost the Steelers the division in 2025. The threat alone. So, I'm with you. I like that nominee. I'll get those up tomorrow for everybody to vote on. Final thoughts. My final thought, we've already hit on it a little bit, but my final thought is I'm excited for the win. Real excited that we got the win. I hate Pittsburgh. I hate Pittsburgh just as much as anybody that's watching or anybody that watches the Browns in general. But this does open the door for Stefanski to return, and that just I've been sick about that all day. I've been happy about the win, but I've been sick about the fact that I think that this does it. Like, this is where we're at now. And we're going into Cincinnati next week and shitting all over them because they're in Kentucky. So yeah. And then my other final thought, just one more time. Shedeur next year should be the starter. Kenny, what do you got?
I saw a lot of Steelers fans after the game lamenting that the last play call was clearly pass interference, and that Zell never got his head around all these
You
things.
don't have to in the
which is
NFL.
true. He was playing manned up, and he was playing the receiver. Like, he didn't.
You don't have to get
And
your
he-
head around the NFL.
And he didn't make contact early, and even if he was there a hair early, it clearly wasn't enough to
It's Pittsburgh fans. You got to
make
take it for what
make
it's
an
worth.
impact. But to that, I would also just say I saw personally today and in still shots after the game on Twitter, like, there were a dozen missed holding calls on Myles in this defensive line all day long. So, like, don't give me your weak ass excuses for why you lost the game. You lost the game because you looked past Cleveland and said, our priority this week is not giving up the sack record to Myles Garrett. And nobody
Mission
can say that.
accomplished.
Nobody can say that on your side of the house because it's embarrassing as fuck. Like, it's the most embarrassing way to lose a game in the history of sports, that we didn't want to give up a stat, so we just stopped playing football this week. Yeah, bullshit. Don't give me your weak ass, oh, we got screwed on a call at the end of the game. Terrible excuse.
I'll
A
even
terrible excuse for a football franchise. Just disgusting.
I'll even give it to him. Okay, pass interference. What the hell are you doing losing to the 3-12 Browns? Like, why were you even
should have
in
been
that
up
position?
20? Yeah.
Just a piss poor excuse.
I just hate
football fans.
to your point exactly, right? I hate we lost because we got screwed by the refs. There are very limited instances where you go, gosh, that was like the worst call I've ever seen. And you see it on replay afterward and you go, how in the world did they miss that? How did they not review it? How did they not get this right? Those things do happen, but not at
This
the
wasn't one of
frequency
those.
that everybody thinks they do. And missed calls happen all day long in every game. You're right. The old adage is there's holding on every play, and there is. It just doesn't get called. So very rarely do refs truly determine the outcome of the game. And to your point, what are you doing losing to the 3-win Browns?
Yeah.
What are you doing? You're playing for everything. You are playing for a playoff berth and for the division. What are you doing being down at all to a rookie quarterback and a rookie cast of nobodies?
Yeah.
Inexcusable.
Yeah, and I'll just go back to it wasn't pass interference. So
And it wasn't. I thought it was pretty clean.
yeah. Yeah. So with that, we're basically at the end of the show. We're going to wrap things up here in just a second. Yes, highlight that. That's what I wanted you to do. Let me remind everybody to call the Burning River Sportscast Hot Take Hotline.
Hot Take Hotline. Call that.
Don't forget to call and leave your hot takes on the Hot Take Hotline, 330-227-8081.
330-227-8081.
330-227-8081. Meyer, James, Glass City, Boner, all you guys
Boner.
Call and leave your hot takes on the Hot Take Hotline.
Do it, or we'll kick you in the Haslam's.
Right in the jimmies. Be sure to check out our gear, www.thetappemedia.com/shop. That'll do it for us, Kenny. What can we expect this week?
You can look forward to our normal show that'll be out this week on Thursday. We had the delay last week with Christmas, so it didn't come out till Friday. But we'll be out on Thursday this week. We'll preview the Week 18 matchup with the Kentucky Bengals, another Browns backers interview. Maybe Tuscarora's on deck. We'll see.
That's who we're supposed to
and
have.
then all the other things you listen to the Burning River Sportscast for, like the same takes over
and over again. You can find us on social media. Tappa Media is on Facebook, X, and Instagram at the Tappa Media. Burning River Sportscast. That's this podcast.
This podcast
is on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Burning River Sportscast, and on X as well at the handle at Burning River Pod. You can find our podcast wherever you get your podcasts. I'm talking Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube Music, Amazon Music, Stitcher, Pandora, iHeartRadio, Podcast Castro, Good Pods, Radio, #1 ranked football podcast, and so many more. And please, please, please leave us reviews. Help our podcast grow. That's it.
That's it. Browns win. Feels good.
It did feel good.
Beat Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I feel good.
Peace out.
Peace out, James.
Be a part of the problem. Be the whole damn problem.
And only you can prevent river fires. Burning River Sportscast. Good night, Cleveland.
Burning Rivers. Good night, Cleveland.
Good night, Akron.